So I met Kenya through Larry Wilmore, so who is one of very, very well-known creator of shows. Sorry, Caroline, but and stop. And it was pretty intense when I first met him because when he sat down, I was like, God, he's really a big guy. And, that's and he's tall, and so he was a little bit intimidating. So Larry introduced me to him, and then we got along really well. And then we started, and Kenya had a lot of ideas. He's an incredible person to work for. He's extremely smart. He's socially aware. He is one of the smartest producers I've ever met. He's very focused on what he wants, and we talked through each and every character. I had to do a board for him. So every day I met with him every day to go through the wardrobe. So that's how when we first met, it was pretty intense, and this project was extremely important. Blackish was a very important project to him. So he was eating it and breathing it and working very hard on it. So, but we collaborated very well on it, so I had a good time with him.
He's also very stylish, no pun intended. So he knew exactly what the Johnsons wanted to look like.
Yeah, and Bo actually, is his wife and his own children. His children are also very stylish. So he's very hands-on. He knows exactly what he wants. He loves sneakers. And so, but he is, and on top of all of it, he's a warm producer. He's a person you can go up to and talk to him. You can go into his office. He's very tangible. He's always there for you. When you're getting ready to have your breakdown sometimes, like I don't understand this character, and he will guide you through it. So he's very, very on top of it.
What I love about Blackish is that the family, they're obviously very well off. They have very nice, expensive clothing, but there's also something very lived in and at home about them. Like I think sometimes when you see some shows with well-dressed characters, it can feel a little distant and fake, but it's not that case with them. Was that something you're trying to accomplish?
I think it's kind of what we do is that Tracy looks amazing, and so does Anthony and the kids. And I think if you saw Kenya's own family, they are a very stylish family. And I think that he wanted to portray that as a black family, they were well-to-do. She's a doctor, Bo's a doctor, Dre is an advertising executive. So I think he really wanted to portray that this is a well-known this is a hardworking family. They both went to college, and at the same time is that he wanted to express where they're in this neighborhood where it's predominantly a white neighborhood, but at the same time, they're stylish. They look great, and I think it's also a fantasy. Most people don't dress like this, but it's really nice to see the Gucci, the Prada, the Dolce, and a little bit of the Target and, the Forever 21. But I think that we accomplished that this is a good-looking family.
So do you primarily source everything on the show, or do you custom make some outfits?
No, we shop a lot. It's a lot of, I have a great team of people. It takes an army to do this show. You can't do it by yourself. So I stay back most of the time because we call it the cage. We have a wardrobe cage. And so tons of clothes. And so what happens with, I stay back to do most of the fittings. And so I'm there, Tracy, Dre's, because sometimes, and the kids have maybe 5 minutes to do fittings. So they'll come in from school, and then we do their fittings, and they go back out. So I stay pretty much inside the cage. And where's Five? He knows where the cage is.
Well, so speaking of Dre's shoe collection, shoe game very strong. Where do you get all those shoes from? Is it just Kenya's?
No, well, a lot of that. In the closet, it's props. So that's the prop, and Kenya works with Randy, the prop master, so that's all in the prop for the closet. For us, if he has a certain sneaker that he wants, he will send me pictures. He'll email me, and my supervisor. So he's very precise of what he wants. One time I had to go shopping for a lot of sneakers. It was like $6,000 worth of sneakers, and
did you get all of them?
Yeah, I got all of them.
How long did it take you?
Like an hour and a half to get them. Yes. So
have you ever not gotten a sneaker that he asked for?
Sometimes we can't use certain brands. There's legal departments, so sometimes we can't use certain shoes. But most of the time we get it in there. and sometimes we'll cheat in a camera shot or something like the logo or something. But he is very precise about his sneakers, about belts, clothing, and he sees all the photos. So we send him the photos, and if there's something that he is really, really wanting, he'll fight for it. I think there was a time that we had somebody that was wearing a Cartier bracelet or something like that, and I think I don't know how we landed, but I think he was really fighting for that. So he's a fighter, and that's what I admire about him the most.
Mm-hmm. What's your budget like? The show?
We can't talk about the budget.
A Cartier bracelet. So.
No, but that was actually a little bit on the prop side. But we had sometimes prop and we have to do it together.
Yeah.
But our budget is good. You know, Tracy looks amazing. We mix a lot of her things, but a lot of her items are designer items. We shop a lot at different places. For Dre, we go from Dolce to Prada to Saks Neiman's to Burberry. We do everything for him. G-Star, a Mood of Norway. So he has a lot of clothes, and he loves clothes too. So it's really nice. The kids are great. It's from J. Crew to Target to H&M to Zara, young youth department. So we have and from Zara we do like markets a lot from Zara. So we are out shopping a lot. Yeah.
I love when you guys do the fantastical episodes. You did 1920s, and then you did Juneteenth, the season premiere last year. So how did you go about that episode with all the musical numbers?
We discussed that again with Kenya. So we talked about that. We showed pictures of how he wanted it. We knew we wanted a little bit of color in that segment, but not much. And we also had to dance, and so we had to make sure that they could work with the clothing as well. We had the choir. We dyed all of that, had it over-dyed, had it aged. We had the headpieces made, and then we had the dancers, which were in bloomers. A lot of them had bloomers with boots on. So we came up with the idea, and we presented it to Kenya, and he was all for it. So it worked out really great, and it was a great piece to do. I was so proud of it. My team and I were extremely proud of that.
Were they custom made?
Some of it was, yes. Yeah, some of it we rented, some of it we purchased it, we over-dyed it, we sandpapered it down. So
it reminded me of Hamilton costumes.
Yeah. We had a great time, and our show's very fast. We have on Blackish, we have 10 to maybe 13 changes per character, and we have flashbacks. So it's a very busy show. It's nonstop. So, but I'm very fortunate that Kenya does allow me to participate and also be involved in it and be able to say, can I do it this way? So I'm very lucky.
So since you were already on Blackish, was there ever any question that you would do Grownish as well?
Grownish, let's see. Grownish was different because it was hard because we had to shoot it in 4 days. And there was a lot of characters, and Kenya's extremely involved. When there's a pilot, he's involved. He's always involved, but when there's a pilot, he is very on top of it. He has a certain idea of how he sees the characters. He goes through the pictures. He'll recommend what he wants. And I like that. I love being challenged by him. You can't keep up with him. He's a machine. You can't keep up with him. And I love being challenged by him. He makes you really think. And so when we did Grownish, I followed his lead, and then Yara's lead. Yara, a lot of people ask, does she have a lot of input? She does. She knows what she likes. She's a young woman that's very socially aware, again, culturally aware. And so she is very involved in her fittings.
I mean, it's so stylish, no pun intended again. But I kind of love that if you watch from Blackish's beginning, Zoe, Yara's character, she's very preppy on the show. But on Grownish, there's a lot of different styles, like mix and match, like high-end and like thrift store stuff. And I love the concept of like, you're going to college and you're finding yourself, and she's also kind of finding her style. Was that something you had in mind, like showing the evolution of her style? Yes, we did. Because when she does do Blackish, she was a little on the preppy side. So when we brought her over to do Grownish, that was where we got to play a lot, because she was kind of finding herself. Her mother, probably wasn't shopping for her. She was kind of going out. She had new friends. And she had a different set of new friends, where you had Luca, you had
You had Aaron. You had different people that were doing different things in school, and she had her bisexual friend. So there was a lot of different characters that were coming to the table. So for her, I think that she just really was exploring who she was as well. So we went from wearing robes to slippers, and then sometimes to like $1,000 jacket or something. So we would go from Zara, and then the next show she had about 10 changes a show. So we try to make them all different. So
I love the Tupac shirt she had
yeah,
on.
that's one of my favorites.
I was like, is that in living color?
That was, I love that T-shirt because I have a lot of assistants and designer friends here that we did that in living color. So that was kind of my thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, lastly, both shows are coming back next season.
Mm-hmm.
Have you started work yet? And can you like tease anything you have in mind for both shows next season?
There's going to be a lot of cute things for Grownish. There's going to be. I'm excited about both of them coming back. I'm already starting to look at Anthony's wardrobe a little bit because Anthony told me before he left, you need to buy me some more clothes. And I said, he said, you need to buy me some more clothes, and I need a new closet. I'm like, okay. And but for Grownish, I think we're going to have something kind of a little bit fun. I think it's going to be a little bit more color. Yeah. So we'll see. I think she'll have some new storylines. So we'll see what's going to happen.